Okay, welcome everybody. I think we're just waiting for our guests to join. And we'll be starting very shortly. Okay, here comes Alexander. Perfect.
Hi.
Hello.
I thought
Alexander.
I thought this was going to be a Telegram AMA.
Oh yeah. No. We Crowdcast is so much better. So
Okay.
much better. Yeah. How we doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Good. We're very excited to have you, and I know both communities, I think, are excited to hear about more stuff with what you guys are doing and everything. So yeah, perfect.
Wonderful. Thank you for having us.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thanks for coming. Definitely. Yeah. So I have some. We have some questions to go over, and maybe do. Yeah, maybe we'll start with the intro. So tell me about yourself. Tell me about Unique as a network, and everything you guys are doing. So
Sure.
lot to talk about, I'm sure.
Okay. So then first about myself, I have about 20 plus years in IT industry, as you see my gray hair. So I started off in New York, actually, with a Wall Street technology firm, and then worked over a small startup that became a global company that I helped build, called Luxoft. It was a software development company that had like 3 clients when I joined, and then I built his financial services practice, worked with global investment banks, and we built that out into over 2,000 people at a time. And that company was sold last year for $1.3 billion. And kind of half of that, more than half of that, was what I built with the financial services. So I was great experience. 10 years worked there. Got into startups. Got into blockchain in 2016 when I joined Ustech, and which is another software development firm. We built a lot of different systems, mainly on Ethereum initially, but then got into Polkadot 2.5 years ago, a little bit more than that actually, early 2019, and starting building different things. And then, through different things, figured out that NFTs on Polkadot can be something different, something much more powerful, and something much deeper than what you can do in other chains. So by the middle of last year, we focused completely on it. Joined the Kusama Hackathon, which was the first hackathon that Kusama had. And we really kind of pushed forward. And after winning that was the kind of the deciding moment when we kind of really dug in completely to, we released our first testnet in scope of that. And the rest is history. The rest is Unique Network.
Yeah. Oh, I love the fact that, too, with the, as far as, building NFTs on Substrate is just fantastic. I think. I mean, I do some Substrate development, and I've looked. Yeah, the whole idea of how these palettes are structured, it's perfect. So I'm glad you guys have made the changeover. I'm glad to see more projects like yourself and Remark come up and that are actually competing for that. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, and so talking about projects wise, you guys have Substrate Punks and Cello Bricks. So yeah, do you want to tell me about the kind of how that's come about and everything? I think that's really cool. I think it's fun stuff. So.
It is cool because they were built and kind of done mm, without kind of big goals in mind. So Substrapunks we built actually for Hakusama as a demo for the testnet we built then to show to non-technical judges on Hakusama, and there were a few, that the chain works, that they can play with them, and that everybody can play with them. So good thing about NFTs, unlike most of the other blockchain stuff, you don't have, they're understood by everybody. Everybody kind of understands NFTs more or less. So so we did that, and then when we won that competition, people started claiming those punks like crazy, and they were all gone in like 3 days. We hardly actually managed to claim some for ourselves. We didn't keep anything for the for the team or whatever. Just individually managed to claim a few dozen, maybe at the last day, because we saw that they were going around. And then the funny story is, again, we didn't mean anything by them. We didn't kind of want anything. It was a demo. But because they were the first live NFTs in the Polkadot ecosystem, people really flocked into them, and they started actually trading them. Now, because they were trading them, they could only trade them OTC. A few weeks later, after they were all claimed, one of the early community members came to us and said to us, guys, can you help us? Somebody just cammed me out a couple of dozen punks. Okay. So at that moment, we were like, okay, people are trading these things. Somebody's paying for them. People are even stealing them. So that means they're really valuable. So we built a marketplace. Okay. We built a bridge to Kusama from our testnet, and, we built a more or less trustless marketplace. That marketplace really picked up. It had like a few thousand KSM worth of trade over a month, and without us doing any marketing, nothing. We were kept building the chain, doing all kinds of stuff we needed to do to make sure we got to the par chain where we're getting now, and it's a lot of work. And this stuff was happening in the background. Community was just building that, and it built out and really became kind of a symbol of NFTs in the Polkadot ecosystem, and it inspired a lot of other builders as well. So Remark we hooked up seriously with them at that time, kind of coordinated the work together on a bunch of stuff, and kind of planned out a lot of joint work coming forward. Kusama Council, some members were really crazy about NFTs, so they wanted to build an art gallery. We built the NFT palette, small one that would fit into for art gallery that would fit into Kusama itself. That was exhibited in China. We did that project jointly with BitCountry. They made the front end, and some of the other kind of team members from across the ecosystem. So it was a very nice joint project. And then the NFTs started to kind of grow in the Polkadot ecosystem. And then for Polkadot Decoded, it happened this June, I think. We were like, okay, what's the conference of the blockchain without NFTs as a kind of souvenir for that? So I asked our designer, can you make some NFTs for this? And he said, I have a great idea. It was like we have most of the NFTs and our Substrapunks as well are pixel art. And he said, okay, now we're going to do Lego art. And he made these characters, the characters that are funny as all hell, and that are actually based on Lego art. I need to find a good kind of way to call it so that it's not trademarked, but it makes them kind of very prone to future construction gaming. We're starting to work with Remark on nested NFT palette, for example, that will allow some functionality of composability of NFTs that nobody else can have outside the substrate. in the blockchain space, and this is something that really can work very well to demonstrate how powerful the chain can be. So even and beyond that, we actually use that as inspiration. We're coming up as we launch our mainnet on Kusama. We will be doing a drop of NFTs for Polkadot ambassadors. That's something that kind of is kept in the background so far. We haven't announced it yet, but and it's inspired by Cello Bricks, and it's actually going to be very, very cool. I'm going to talk about that more.
I didn't even know when you mentioned about the Cello Bricks. I didn't even know that was part of Polkadot Coded. I watched Polkadot Coded. It was cool. Yeah, I was looking at your. By the way, I did check out your marketplace the other day, and it very, very simple and easy to use. So yeah, kudos to you on that. Definitely was good. So,
thank you. And that marketplace is actually. Well, first of all, that marketplace itself is mostly, it's supposed to be decentralized. Half of it is kind of the commissions are given to the community, and we plan to kind of fully decentralize that so it is owned by community and managed by community down the road and so on. But more importantly, that marketplace was our kind of first effort to figure out how to build applications on top of Unique. And we now offer it as white label marketplace. So anybody can build NFT business in an hour, basically. They can take that stuff. White label can put it in. And all they need actually is web developers. They don't need to worry about blockchain at all.
Because I know a lot of people, constantly that blockchain developers are high demand and very few. So yes, that's perfect. That's really cool. Awesome. Yeah, I like I said, I think the marketplace is a huge deal, and I think that's awesome. You guys have already tackled that. So definitely cool. Well, yeah. So a couple other questions we have, tell me about the feeless NFTs. So how in the minting, is unique to Unique. So like how does that work? So yeah, how does the whole process of about feeless NFTs and minting? How do you guys do that?
It's actually one of the biggest for me innovations that you can take out of Substrate. We are actually going to publish very soon. We just are so busy with the launch that we couldn't get onto the kind of making it all pretty and opening it up. But the blockchain is difficult for 99% of people. It's very difficult. Okay. So, and NFTs are very mass market product. So if you want to take and really make it a mass market product, you have to hide that blockchain under the hood. And NBA Top Shots is a great example of that. Both the Apple Labs and Circle are kind of very happy with how that has went because they have managed to hide the blockchain under the hood. You come in, so they did it for a very simple use case. You buy the NBA Top Shot cards and you sell them, and that's it. Okay, so the sponsoring of transaction fees, which hides the blockchain from the end user, something we worked on couple of years back on Ethereum, but on Ethereum, it's prohibitively expensive, and it is not easy to do beyond when you have a little bit more than one transaction per, hour or day. If you want to kind of do the game stuff and so on, you really have to think, you cannot do it on Ethereum. But on Substrate you can, because Substrate, as you said, with the pellets, it has an awesome capability to put in a blockchain whatever you can, your developers are smart enough to come up with. And what we came up with was the sponsoring pellet. So we're going to release that again, in December, open source it and kind of make a big deal out of it with parity and Substrate, because it is unbelievably important innovation for Substrate. So that's because we natively support transaction fee sponsoring, and that is something that allows basically freemium gaming on blockchain. Okay, that's And freemium gaming is 90% of the gaming space.
Yeah, definitely. I love the fact too that you, going back to what you said about Top Shots, the whole idea about hiding the blockchain. We're all geeks about the blockchain. We love it. We enjoy it. But getting people to understand it mainstream wise, it's got to be hidden. People need to know that it runs in the blockchain. Sure, that's all they need to know. They don't need to know anything about the technicals. So yeah, the fact that you guys are trying to do that way is, I think, a big deal, definitely. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's super cool. I mean, I think that's a big deal. So yeah, and I know Ethereum is just not poised to handle, I don't think, NFTs that well and scaling wise. And that's the beautiful thing about Kusama and Polkadot. So yeah, very cool. Awesome. So yeah, I think definitely. I mean, I think you guys got an awesome project, and I love the Cello Brits artwork too. So that's really cool. But so we have. I guess we can move over to unless do you have anything else that you want to add about the project, and then I have a couple other questions that we have about the Crowdloan before we get to that. Anything else about your project you want to, maybe any special announcements or anything you want to drop to me?
Well, so I wanted to, the community listening to this is mostly substrate based, but I want to kind of underline here that NFTs on substrate in Polkadot chains, not just us, but others, will be far more powerful and flexible and better and deeper than anything else out there. So because substrate as a technology is a next generation blockchain. You can do with it so much more than you can do with any other chain. Every other chain, came back from NFT NYC, and the panel there on other chains for NFTs, they were just talking about, we made this collection and we made this collection and we made this collection. And it's all about the collectibles. Very simple, technically, very primitive use case.
Yes.
Very simple.
I can
buy, that's it. Yeah. But if you want anything like what Centrifuge guys are doing, what, real estate, certificates, whatever, you can forget about it in any other chain. But on substrate, you can do a lot more. Yeah. We are, we're going to
it's a modularization of everything too, because like I did do a CryptoKitties tutorial a while back on Ethereum, and then I also did Substrate Kitties a while back with on Substrate. And God, yeah, it is definitely poised to be so much better. And the fact that you guys are already building out so many features on it, I can't believe it. It's perfect. So I love to see that. So
we have built. So we are building this chain for a year and a half now, and we built a lot already. So we have inside besides the sponsoring of transaction fees, we are minting the NFTs natively, which means much more. And not only NFTs, we are minting refungibles from those NFTs natively, which means they are free of any smart contracts, which means they're much more scalable. They are much easier to move around. They're much easier to do anything with. If you want to move the NFT from Ethereum to another chain, you have to send it to a smart contract and pay like a few $100 worth of transaction.
Yeah. And in a busy time, you are done. you're got a very expensive NFT just on the fees. Yeah.
And you have to deploy somebody has to deploy the smart contract to do that. And deploying smart contract these days is a few $1,000. Here it's a token. So it's easy it's just a token. It's not tied to smart contracts. It's easy to move around. It's easy to do anything that needs scale. So, I'm waiting for Fortnite to come to, or that kind of level game to come to blockchain, and looking to host something like that.
Yeah, definitely, and I think your platform is definitely moving in that kind of gaming direction, which is really cool. So, so going over to the Polkadot Crowdloan area. So, what is your strategy for the Polkadot Crowdloan? Where are you guys? What is your end goal here?
We are actually now in the process of the crowd loan for Kusama, our Kusama network.
Or sorry, did I say Polkadot? I misspoke.
It's called Quartz. We are leading the 14th auction. We didn't come on board until this batch, and actually we came in later than it began because it was first because we wanted to kind of the first hype to pass a little bit, and secondly we wanted to just ride on the community, not on our kind of existing investors, which we have a lot. We have more than 200 investors in Unique, but we wanted to ride mostly on the strength of community. And we are now leading it, and I am hoping that come Monday night we will announce that we won our slot, and we are getting there. It's still live. It's still available. Rewards are nice. Actually, the earlier you get in, the better. They're still kind of pretty high, higher than they're about a little less than double what they will be at the end if everybody comes in. But I'm also glad that actually we have things calming down. Everybody moved on to Polkadot, so the volume of KSM needed for the part chain on Kusama is coming down, which is a good thing, because the amount of KSM kind of initially needed was just too much. You cannot have 100 chains with 200,000 KSM. It's double the total supply. So
yeah, I know that's. I'm wondering when this supply shock is really going to happen. Yeah, but I did see you guys. I think you guys jumped Genchira, which I think has done a pretty good job. I thought they were going to take that spot, but it looks like you guys are going to take it. Yeah, I just looked at last night.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, congratulations on moving up the ranks to it. It's really cool. Yeah, it's cool to see.
Thanks. And actually, we are very careful with that. We're not kind of a lot of the chains, a lot of them were kind of really kind of hungry to get kind of the earlier spot, and kind of gave a lot of tokens for that. Some have given 20-30% of their supply for 1-year lease. It's far too much. It's getting out a lot of supply on the market, and you need to be careful. This is a long-term game. We plan to be around for 10 years, 20 years, and we need to pay for that every year. So we need to make sure we have enough tokens for that. So, I think that, we might look stingy, but it is actually beneficial for the token holders to be part of that, because we are careful with what we give the tokens for, and that value management is going to be very important, especially when bear market hits and so.
Yeah, I agree. And I was just talking to somebody the other day about that. Looking at these projects, what crowd loans you should be a part of as far as community backing, and I think you do care, number one, about what the project is doing, which is a big deal, and then the tokenomics are important, but yet at the same time, it's not all about tokenomics. I was telling somebody the other day, it depends on what the project's doing. And so far the projects on Kusama have been fantastic. I think overall most of them are really good. But yeah, so definitely excited to see what you guys end up doing with that. Do you guys have any plans for the parachain itself? Is there anything you want to get out of it right away? Or are you guys excited about anything specific?
Well, there are a number of teams we were working with for the last 6 months or more that are very eager to launch, and most of them, if not all of them, are waiting for us to go live to be able to do that. So we do have a live testnet that they can do it, but that's never the same. So everybody is waiting, and we were telling them to wait. So hopefully, December comes and we kind of launch it. We'll start launching projects. The projects will start launching, and the NFTs in Kusama ecosystem are going to become start getting richer, and kind of there's the innovation that's happening in the NFT space is just phenomenal.
Right, it's
Just
growing rapid pace. I know the pace is just becoming it's fantastic. I hope it
I
continues.
have spoken to uh, probably between 100 and 200 projects this year, and there is so different things happening. It is beautiful.
Mhm.
It is anything you can imagine and much more. It's just awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool to see everything changing so quickly, and definitely. So yeah, and yeah, I think, and as far as moving over to the Bifrost, contributing on Bifrost, what was so when how did you guys learn about, like, as far as moving over to Bifrost, what attracted you most to Bifrost, I should say? Like, what was the big on having your project on Bifrost available for the crowd loan? Was there anything?
Well, we are part of the Polkadot ecosystem for, again, 2.5 years. The first grant we got from Web3 Foundation was April or May, I think, or June
Beginning, yeah.
2019. Okay, so we are
Yeah.
around. We
Yeah.
know we know most of the projects that have been around. That most of them started a similar fashion, getting grants and kind of starting small and then kind of really getting big about it. And Bifrost, so this the crowd loan, the leasing of the power chains is a
Mhm.
great idea for Polkadot, for Kusama, where the tokens are locked because you basically lock a certain portion of the supply, basically forever. So you reduce the supply. So for the host chain, it's a kind of good usage actually of the tokens. But from the token owner's perspective, for me personally, locking the crypto tokens for a certain period of time is a very crypto is so volatile that
Yes,
basically not being able to move it around is an expensive thing for me. So having that as a liquidity, giving liquidity to that, for me is a genius kind of idea. I
it
love
is.
it.
It is.
I
It
really
is. It
love
is. It is. And I think it definitely takes care of the community, and that's why I think Bifrost as the community is a really great project, and we do that, but also too, I think the whole crowd loan situation just makes it unintended / intended. I think it's probably intended by Gavin, but to actually give people the get the community, get great projects out of the community. So it does make, so far, I mean, we've seen fantastic projects. We don't have bad garbage coins, in this space. I feel like the projects are pretty solid so far out of Kasama, and
it. Hmm.
projects like yourself that are just so well done. So yeah, I love the whole process. So yeah, so do you guys have anything next steps you guys want to produce the minute this is over? Anything next steps you guys want to take with the community, like going forward? Anything you want to get out of the community per se?
Well, NFTs are, again, very appealing to a lot of people. So, our goal is to attract very innovative applications that are appreciated by a large community. Okay, that are played, games that are played, solutions that are useful for different things, art that is actually consumed in a way, not just collecting dust, not just used as avatars, which is nothing wrong with that, but it's just the beginning. Um, and that's nothing without the community. So basically, NFTs as use case, we have had so many kind of creative ideas being pushed by community, done by community initially. So there's going to be a lot of things that are actually done by community. We start with the marketplace, which we are decentralizing ownership with, and are kind of slowly going to give the whole thing to the community.
That's awesome.
And the beginning of it is the money, the trading fees that go to the owners of our NFTs. So they just go back to the hodlers, but then the community is starting to think about, making the games out of that, making connections, making all kinds of different things, collaborations with other projects, nested NFTs, and all that stuff. So that all of that stuff is making much more interesting use cases, and all of that is going to be possible only by creative power of a community. You have to have a lot of people kind of do cool stuff to make things right. So that's the main kind of idea behind everything.
Nice. So speaking in community, we have some questions, a couple of questions from the community. We had a lot more questions come in, but you've touched on a lot of this stuff. So definitely. So yeah, but as far as, so Unique, we're talking about the community again, this question from a user. So in the future, does Unique have any special plans to attract, expand community? You answered that. But what actions do they take as far as verifying? So that's one of the things this person was asking about, was wanting to know about verifying the NFT ownership and guarding against fraud. And, so it sounds like they're very concerned about some of the security mechanisms and like what kind of bottlenecks do you guys kind of face with the network?
Well, there are actually, that is one thing that is still kind of not really solved in the NFT space anywhere. Yes, you should know which contract covers CryptoPunks, and you can go and check on, always on Etherscan if you know how to do it. But the average person probably doesn't know how to do that. So, we do need some extra steps to make sure that, with NFTs becoming this mass market, you have generated it. There is Everdream Soft is partner of ours. They're working on a certification kind of program there. There's a number of different also ideas of people working on that. That's something that we are not going to solve, and nobody single is going to solve, but the market is. We will participate in everything that kind of goes that direction. Okay, and in the meantime, using decentralized storages and kind of just being transparent about things, IPFS, showing it, making sure that that people minting stuff are transparent about the kind of where the things are and how people can check every NFT. That's what we can do in the meantime.
Yeah, and then on top of you're getting so much security just from being on the Kusama Polkadot network, which is fantastic. So
of course,
that's great, definitely cool. So liquidity providers are. This is another question. Liquidity providers are essential for platforms. So how will you make it easier for liquidity providers to use your platform, and how do you encourage them to raise more funds? So I think you're talking about liquidity partners, and so are you interested in? Have you guys talked about that much? Are you guys looking into that, or just curious?
Liquidity for what exactly?
So we're asking, for I think to raise around liquidity providers. I think they're looking at staking in some of these things, but I'm not sure really. Yeah, it doesn't sound like you guys are more into the NFT space, more the project generation. So okay, cool. So the answer is there. And then they were saying that Unique networks said Ethereum-based NFTs have some problems, like pay for every action, blockchain knowledge for its scalability, like you just talked about. To solve this problem, Unique chose the Polkadot network. So, so it sounds like, the fees based are a big thing. So, and obviously you did touch a little bit about the fees going forward. So how is I guess as far as are you guys looking at, I know you said about partnering with Remark as far as the transferability. Have you looked at that? Have you guys looked at how easy it is to transfer over these cross chain inside, the Kusama network and stuff, the fees and stuff, I guess is that kind of a more of an attractive thing so hopefully we'll get more partners like Remark and other pop-up.
That is so Polkadot itself, its mission and vision is that the future is multi-chain by definition. Okay.
Mhm.
And I completely kind of sign under that and completely agree with that. There is not going to be one chain that rules them all. Okay. There's not going to be, nation states kind of mentality. That's going to go away. Okay. Just like intranets died out and internet kind of took over completely, same thing is going to happen in blockchain. You'll have to have assets that move freely, and our chain will be one of many. So what we plan to do, we were very focused up until now and until launch for launch. And so when we launch on Kusama, at least, because on Polkadot, our chain will be more or less the same, plus things we do in the meantime. So we would have done the hardest part of the work. When we launch that, we'll start seriously looking into interoperability from different angles, actually. We have looked at interoperability first layer between so in Kusama, and there are easy ways to do that in Substrate, and then we looked at seriously at different scenarios for Ethereum and EVM based chains. Okay, we've done a few proofs of concept, so kind of we know easily we have a bridge actually that can move NFTs from Ethereum to Unique and back. That's easy.
Beautiful. Yeah.
We have done actually a proof of concept for OpenSea, so you can take and mint just like on OpenSea, you can mint on Polygon, you can mint on Unique. We've done a proof of concept for that, and then we have actually kind of the whole set of use cases we want to cover in R&D mode, and then work with partners, work with potential partners and partners in different chains to do cross-chain interoperability and so on. We do need to. The first thing we will need to do is make easy transfers with Unique's palette that made for StateMine, okay, which is kind of the minimalistic NFT palette. So to make sure that we can move things around, okay, that's
cool.
First step we need to do in January, basically, and then we'll work on kind of many other things. There are NFT projects popping up on different chains, and it is going to become one part of our everyday job to make sure that we have easy interoperability with each one.
Yeah, I could see a smaller project coming out with some cool NFTs or something, and then wanting to get over to your marketplace. So yeah, I love the. And then especially if they build it on Kusama or Polkadot, they have a lot of the interoperability chain, interchain transfers are just super cool. So that is, I can't remember the first time I actually did a transfer. I think it was on using Quora's network and making a cross-chain transfer. Blows your mind still. I know it's been out for a few months, but it's still really, really cool. So awesome. Cool. So yeah, do you have anything else you want to add to the community, or should we, do you have anything else you want to say or anything? I know. Hope everybody contributes to your guys' project for the Crowdloan. It's looking really good. I'm definitely contributing. So myself, yeah. So.
Oh, thank you. Well, yeah. Right now that Crowdloan is basically ours to lose, so we know we're going to get it.
Yeah. It looks like you guys are running away with it right now, so which is cool.
And so, and actually, it's designed so that basically, if we don't reach the cap, we actually keep those tokens. So the supply is smaller, so which is okay with us. But for people who want to become part of the NFT community and Kusama and so on, it is a good entry. It will be basically an entry ticket for the whitelist for our public sale for Unique coming up actually pretty soon. So those
whitelists are valuable. Definitely awesome.
So from what I heard, basically those things sell out quickly. I have we have a problem of kind of reducing the having to reduce the maximum cap so that we can fit in everybody, because it's supposed to be a very
Such a good way to reward the community. Yeah.
decentralizing event. So that is a valuable thing to do. But more importantly, the level of creativity we see starting to happen and that will happen is going to give a lot of fun. So, for anybody in Kusama, Polkadot ecosystems, in the blockchain space, NFTs are fun. So come join us, just mostly to have fun, to play, to, enjoy things that are kind of really cool. Again, just to quote kind of things from, I just heard it every step in New York at the NFT NYC, every brand out there now is trying to figure out the NFT strategy. Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
They have, NFTs have shown to stir very important emotions in people and have become a really cool and really kind of important. And that is what we are looking to do. And we as a chain are designed for actually the next generation of NFT use cases, some, more powerful stuff. So, come build with us, come join us, enjoy the fun. It is a very nice ride.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I think it's great. I just want to plug one more time Bifrost. So if anybody wants to jump over and support Unique and the Crowdloan and, jump on, use the, definitely go through Bifrost so you can save your liquidity, support the community and everything. So perfect. Thank you, Alexander. I really appreciate it. Great call. I enjoyed this one myself personally. So
thank you
so much. Take care now.
Have a good one. Well, thanks.
Yeah,
cheers.
Take care. Thank you, guys.